What's good, YouTube? It's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another video. Today's video, it will be a follow-up video to our last video, the UK Drill's gliding 808s. I got a lot of hate. A lot of people were saying my snares and hi-hats were wrong, and in their defense, they were correct. It wasn't really in the style of UK drill. Really, that tutorial was focused on the 808s. I didn't really focus much on the snares and hi-hats. I do apologize. So today's video will try and make things right and show you how to get a proper hi-hat pattern and snare pattern for a UK drill type of beat instrumental. So let's get to it. For those of you who did not see the gliding 808 tutorial, you can click the link at the top right hand corner and learn how to make this gliding 808 over here. But we're going to go ahead and change up our snare pattern and our hi-hat pattern and probably our kick pattern as well. So let's go ahead and just duplicate this over and get this sounding more UK drilly, if you will. We'll start off with our snare. So the snare is actually the easiest part to a UK drill beat. Really what you want to do here is the first beat will hit on the 3, the second will hit on the 4, the third will hit back on the 3, and the last on the 4 as well, and it's going to give you this type of bounce. Now there's no like set in stone of where you should place them, but there's a lot of switch ups usually in UK drill beats, and sometimes the snares would go like this, the reverse. So the first one will go on the 4, this will go on the 3, and that will be reversed. Or sometimes it will go like, maybe this will go on the 2, this will go on the 3, this one will come out, that could go on the 4. Or you could do on the 3 and 4. It's really up to you how you want to do it, but for today's video, what we're going to do is the first one is going to be on the 3. The second one's going to be on the 4, and we're just going to get that repeated. So if you're wondering where to put the snares for UK drill beat, this is pretty much your starting point, and then you could build off of that. You could take out some along the way, give it a different bounce, but just start off with this and you should be good to go. Next up, let's bring in our kicks, and maybe we'll take out some kicks. I think less is more in this instance, and I put a little bit too many here. So I'm going to go ahead and take out these 2 here. And I think I'm going to take these 2 out as well here. Just going to quantize that. Now if I bring it in with the 808 and that perk hit. We get a little bit of a better bounce, if you will, for this type of record. Now the hi-hats, what we're going to do here is we're going to switch it up completely. We're going to take out what we did in our last video, and let's go ahead and start off with a new pattern. I'll show you a pattern that is foolproof, and you can use it as a starting basis point to any UK drill instrumental. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and just start off on the 1. I'll make these larger so you can see where they are. Now my grid value is in 16ths. If your grid value is different, you may want to change that so you could follow this pattern. Hit this top button over here, go to custom, and this number right here under your type signature is your grid value. So if I go to, let's say 8ths, you'll see my grid changes. If I change that to 16ths, you'll see that changes. So if you go to custom on yours, it should have the same setup. And I don't believe I actually customized that. And then let's go back to that, and you'll have a 16th grid. And then carrying on with the hi-hat pattern off of the 1, we're going to count 2 steps here. We're going to put it on the 4th. We're going to count another 2 steps. Or I should say 3 steps, and then we'll do 2 steps here. So 1, 2. Count 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to count 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And for this, we're just going to put it on 8s, just so that it can ride out on the bar and bring anticipation for when the next bar comes in. So let's go ahead and just duplicate that over. So that's the starting point to a hi-hat pattern. If you're wondering where to start, how to start off, in trap music you got the 8s. This is pretty much your 8th pattern that you can just place in and then start building off of that. So let's say we want to make this a little bit more intricate, a little bit more of a more interesting, for lack of a better word. So what we're gonna do here is gonna copy down this pattern over here. We'll mute this one for now. We will go ahead and solo this out, so we really see what's happening here and hearing it. And I'm going to pitch it down to another hi-hat I brought in. It's a softer hitting hit, almost like a shaker hi-hat that's used in a lot of UK drill records. And what we're going to do here is pretty much just draw in some rolls, and it'll give you a little bit more spice, if you will, to this pattern. Now this, once again, is completely subjective, how you want the bounce to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and listen through and just change over to my brush tool, change over to a 30-second note, and we'll see what we put in here. Maybe we'll bring it in with everything else. So I'm going to do a quick stutter over here. I'm going to put another hit over here. So I'm going to put another hit over here. I'll just start adding, and here we'll put in a roll. I'm going to change this to a 64th roll. Something like that. Maybe we'll duplicate this over. Maybe we'll take this out. Just let this hi-hat ring out here. Then over here we'll put in another roll. Do a 64th roll. And then we'll just copy this pattern over. And maybe we'll just pull this one down, and it gives you some difference in pitches as well. Now the next key thing here when you're working with this type of pattern, you want to have the hi-hats hit at different velocity levels. So some are more quiet, some are louder. This way it gives it more of a human feel rather than a robotic feel. So if we hit this right over here, we can go ahead and adjust our velocities on the notes. Once again, this is to taste, and you can do it how you feel is right. But if you're using Logic's EXS24, and make sure that your level meter right here is large enough so it can pick up the different velocities that we're going to set over here. If it's like this, it's pretty much just locked to one velocity. So let's pull that down. And I'm going to start off with just lowering the velocity on my rolls. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Maybe make that even lower. Let's make this one lower. Let's make this lower. Let me zoom on in here. going to make this even more lower here. Bring that a little bit up. This I'm going to bring up because we're probably not even going to hear it. For this one over here, I'm going to bring it down. Sometimes working with velocities and logic drives me crazy. I'm going to go ahead and just zoom out in here, and we're just going to go ahead and get something like that. Pitch these down. Maybe this one will leave up. But you get the idea of what needs to be done. So it gives you different sort of hits of that hit. Well, some are softer, some are louder, gives you more of a bounce and of a ride. You can highlight all of these and just go to functions, MIDI transform, random velocity, and it can do that for you. But really, to get a proper bounce, you might want to go in on there and just do what we did here so that you get more exactly what you want it to sound like. Maybe I'll layer up this hi-hat on top of it. And there's our hi-hat pattern right over there. That's pretty much the tutorial. One last thing, maybe this is sort of like a little bonus thing. If you want, you can also take all of your melodies or chords, just bounce that in place. I'm gonna do that right now. And then you can go ahead and just chop up the region on the chords where they hit, just like that. And then select all of the regions. Go over to your region selector over here, click reverse, and it's going to reverse those chords, and we may get a cooler effect here and make this beat a little bit more interesting as well. Maybe we'll just undo the reverse on these two. Let's see how that sounds. That sounds a little better. I just reversed some of them, not all of them, but you get the idea of what kind of things you can do to your melody as well. But hopefully from this video, you understand a little bit better where to place the snares, the hi-hats, and the kicks as well. And in the last video, you can learn how to get those gliding 808s. So just as a last A-B reference, I'm going to go ahead and play back what we had in the last video. Snares, hi-hats in the wrong place. Once again, I do apologize. That tutorial is meant for the 808s, but I should have paid more attention to the snares and hats. So here is our old, more trappy pattern, and this is our UK drill pattern. So there it is right there. Hopefully you have an idea, better understanding how to create those hi-hats and snares. If you're a trap producer and want to make UK drill music, hopefully this gives you an idea of the placement of things, where they should go, where it's different than trap music. Hopefully this helps as well. Once again, I will place a link to my UK drill drum kit in the description box below this video. All the drum sounds you heard here is part of that kit, along with many others as well. Alright, so that's it for me, guys. Hopefully you're all staying safe, making some good music. If you did like this video, remember thumbs up, share it, and of course hit that subscribe button for more good videos like this one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.